One quick question too, sir, about that. Yeah, I seen you touch on the actual Bush funeral with the envelopes
Yeah.
that were being unveiled with everybody in almost everybody in attendance. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that, and we can speculate a little bit? Because even though we talk about all this kind of facts and stuff, it's sometimes, I guess, fun in a weird way with all this down stuff
Well,
to kind of speculate.
if folks don't think much is happening, they need to watch Jeb's reaction at the funeral. That was not the reaction of some guy who things are going really well for. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was not, was appointed to a position by old man Bush, the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, being on their board of directors. And I was never a fan of old man Bush.
None of us was.
No.
Okay. And the reason is because I believe he was actually at the center and the heart of a lot of really bad stuff.
Oh,
Around the world.
Iran-Contra, running cocaine, killing JFK. I mean, and that's just that's the big ones on the top.
And also, I think a player in the human compromise program of individuals.
Mm.
Okay, so you can read that into human trafficking or whatever you want.
And mind control, CIA, the massive amounts of that as well.
Right. So I was actually frankly sick. I refused to watch the funeral thing. I mean, the whole it was almost like how they were carting his body around from Houston to Washington, and then Washington, we're going to go back to Houston, and then we're going to go to the thing. And the day before the funeral, one of my friends who I've known for many years, who's has significant ties into the government, he said, "Are you going to watch a Bush funeral now?" I go, "No, I couldn't stand the guy. Why? No. Why? This is already sickening watching him, how they're talking about what a great patriot he was, and I can't. That's just not. No. Well, you need to. Why do I need to? No. You really need to watch what happens, and you'll know it." I go, "What are you talking? Just watch." So I'm watching the thing, right? And a couple things I noticed. One is, they're all kind of yucking it up, right? The first thing I noticed is when Pence walked in, he was all chummy with Hillary. Oh, they were carrying on, and they were having. No, that's kind of okay. I mean, I don't like Pence. I'll put it on the line. I get a lot of heat for that. There's something about the guy that
he's an android from the future.
Looks like Race Bannon from Johnny Quest.
Something about the guy, I get the same yips around him as I did a number of people in Washington who were really bad players. Okay, so I don't trust the guy. I'm not a fan. And so him talking and loving it up with Hillary, that just fed into my thing of his role with the globalists. And then he goes and he sits down, and next thing I know, Hillary opens this program thing, and something falls out. And I said, "Oh, okay." But then Jimmy Carter looks over at her, and he's kind of like, "Oh, heck, and he obviously didn't have one. He starts talking to Rosalind. She doesn't have one, and he seems all bummed out. And I didn't see anybody else get a note, right? It was just that. And I thought, okay. But then President Trump walked in. And this is what I noticed. When he walked in, Pence and his wife, Karen Pence, were sitting behind him. Neither the president or Melania said boo to the Pences. Didn't say hello, didn't shake their hands, and I'm thinking, all right, so maybe that's what I'm supposed to be watching out for, because obviously, they know I'm not a fan of Pence, and this is an indication, hey, things aren't good there, and the number twos can be getting the boot. So I'm watching this, and now we're getting through the funeral, and the coffin's going out. And during the program, because I was watching C-SPAN, they showed W writing some stuff down. And the other thing I noticed is that there were two Secret Service guys behind W, but there weren't any Secret Service guys immediately behind, Trump, Obama, Clinton, and Carter, which was kind of weird, right? I mean, why does W have two Secret Service guys behind him, and The other guys don't have anybody. So now the casket's going out, and W shows something to Laura. Laura shows it to Jeb, and next thing you know, he looks like he's going to vomit. I think, oh, that is what I was supposed to see.
My reaction to that was the same as when I got my WrestleMania 17 payoff. That was the exact look on my face. Oh. You guys was like, oh God.
What you guys don't know is it was all copies of Keys to Bob Dole's hotel room orgy afterwards. And they were just
key swap party.
Like, damn, we gotta go.
So
Doc,
after this thing is over, I call my buddies and I say, hey, I watched it. And what'd you see? And then I said, well, I saw, Hillary had this thing fall out and Jimmy Carter was all bummed out. He didn't have it. Well, she wasn't the only one, okay, who there was an envelope. And then it turned out that Michelle got one, and Karen Pence got one, and Jill Biden got one. And I said, so what? And they also told me there were some other people in the crowd that got them further back.
I was thinking, what if that's a best way to serve somebody with a subpoena? Like you're at a funeral, open the shit, and there it is.
Yeah. So I said, so what was in that? And they go, it was a list of coming attractions.
Oh.
Ooh.
I said,
like,
oh,
that's awesome.
oh, because it wasn't a subpoena or an indictment because it was too small, right?
Yeah.
And whatever it was, it got their attention real fast, right? So then I said, well, then what was going on with Jeb? And because his reaction was he was about to vomit. And they said, well, it was a culmination of W having flipped months before.
Wow.
I was just about to ask you
That's
that question. Do you think he flipped, and you just answered it?
I think it was actually the fetus in the jar.
As I understand it, people, conspiracy theory, fine. As I understand it, Pence was the Bush's insurance policy.
Now,
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you
man.
explain that a little more? I'm not sure if I follow that.
Remember you mentioned the Super Bowl and they rolled George H.W. Bush out to flip the coin? So then he goes back to his box. Who was up in the box with H.W. Bush at the Super Bowl?
Pence, I guess.
He was
Pence.
there.
Yeah. Pence
So he's the inside player.
tight with the Bushes. Real tight with the Bushes. And what the
Well-
Bushes are all about. And
Okay.
and if Trump would be removed from power and Pence comes in, he was their insurance policy. And what I understand was written, W wrote that he informed Laura, who then informed